Hello, my dear astrology family. Welcome to Taking You to the Stars Astrology. January 2026 is going to be a meaningful and memorable month. We're going to have a big conjunction in the sky of five different planets. Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mars, and Pluto are all going to come together in the sign of Aquarius. And definitely everyone is going to feel it, no matter what your sign is, because this is going to activate a part of your chart where you crave the most freedom, the most authenticity, and reinvention. This can be some type of cosmic weather that can make you wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm not going to do the same thing anymore. I'm going to do something different today. The most intense energy is going to be felt between January 23 and 25. This is when the conjunction is the tightest. However, we're probably going to feel the build up a week before that, and also that energy that is still going to remain strong a week after. But there can be a big event or a big situation that can be happening in the life of everyone that is going to turn the page, that is going to have some sort of consequences and results that are going to be long lasting. For most people, there's probably going to be a strong urge to break out of patterns that have been feeling limiting or outdated. A lot of you will probably suddenly feel restless when it comes to your personal life and your inner world, and you may feel like something within you is expanding faster than the circumstances around you. So it can be a time when a lot of us are probably going to question our habits, our routines, our relationships, or even long term dreams. The Aquarius energy will want us to break the mold so that we can become more aware of what's aligned. Mentally, the energy is probably going to feel fast, sharp, and full of ideas. Our minds will probably become more curious and more inventive, and we may find ourselves thinking differently about things that we maybe have taken for granted for years. Mercury is going to also be here, and Mercury is going to bring that mental clarity that we need. People that are born with Mercury in the sign of Aquarius are genius like. They're very smart, very intelligent, and we're going to have that kind of energy when we make some drastic transformative decision with Pluto here that is going to turn the page, take other people by surprise, and it's probably going to transform our life in one way or another. Some people may experience sudden realizations, moments where everything clicks at once, and we'll probably be able to understand situations, people, or even ourselves more or in a whole different way. Mercury in this mix again makes it easy to be able to see patterns with more clarity, and even if it's uncomfortable too. But because we have Pluto here, Pluto is going to add depth and is probably going to bring internal truths to the surface. It's going to ask us to confront parts of ourselves where we may have felt ignored or like left behind as well. And I'm not going to lie, this is going to be an intense energy for all of us, but it can also be deeply healing. A lot of us will decide to uncover fears that maybe we didn't realize that were influencing us before. Or maybe we'll notice ways that we have compromised our individuality to fit into certain expectations. And so Pluto is going to have a lot of us reclaiming our personal power in a real and grounded way. And it's not going to be through force, but it's going to be through honesty. Mars here is helping us get the courage that we need to take action. And whenever we realize that something needs to be changed, we're probably not going to think twice about it. We're going to want to take action. And this may lead into moments of emotional bravery, of ending dynamics that maybe have drained us before, of starting something new, or simply asserting our needs more clearly. And it can also bring impatience with Mars here, especially if we have been feeling stuck for a long time. And this can be a sign at the same time that something really needs to shift. Now, Venus is also in this mix, and Venus is like the blessing from God, from the sky, because it's probably going to help soften the emotional weather, and it's going to bring heart level awakenings. Relationships can undergo shifts. Some will deepen, some relationships will realign, and other ones will evolve into new forms. So, a lot of people under this conjunction and energy are probably going to desire more authentic connections, more openness, and more mutual respect. People here can become more aware of how the relationships are working, and if some sort of support needs to happen to be able to grow them or at least hold them back. Then Venus here is going to encourage some sort of self love too, especially because of the presence of Pluto. It's going to be that kind of love that is going to have you embrace your own individuality and parts of you that don't fit into the norm. Now, with the presence of the sun, we're going to have light shed into parts of us that maybe they have been hiding for a while. And we're going to have a deeper understanding of who we're becoming. It's definitely going to help us find new ways of expressing ourselves and having a vision of our future self, maybe of a person that is more free, more confident, and more aligned with the truth. And so the sun is going to give us the opportunity to have some sort of renewal or even rebirth when it comes to our identity, but also it's gonna be in a very profound and powerful way. So, emotionally, for many of us, for most of us, this period can feel like a blend of excitement, of vulnerability, of inspiration, and we may feel more intuitive, more detached from all drama, but at the same time, more connected to the bigger vision of our lives. And the energy of Aquarius here wants us to zoom out and to try to see the long term picture. So, this is the time when people are probably going to make decisions that shape the future and not just the moment. So, I feel like on the personal level, for most of us, this energy is gonna mean liberation. And we're going to decide to free ourselves from expectations, from roles, from identities, or habits that no longer match who we're becoming anymore. And this can be an upgrade that's from the inside out, one that may shake us at first, but ultimately can make us feel like we are the most authentic that we've ever been in our lives. So, yes, there's going to be some sort of change, but that change is not to take us away from our soul purpose. It's probably going to help us go back to our soul purpose. When it comes to the collective level, the vibe and the energy can get loud, can get a little weird too, a little electric, and deeply transformative. It's like the cosmos is hitting a giant reset button and it's saying, okay, humanity, it's time to evolve, or at least unplug and plug back in again. So, for the collective, this kind of Aquarius stellium creates a moment where society feels like it's shifting in a new frequency. Aquarius is the sign of futurism, breakthroughs, rebellion, community consciousness, and unconventional thinking. With Pluto already beginning its long stay here, the other planets joining it creates a surge of energy that pushes humanity towards change faster than it might already feel ready for. So, people under this energy all around the world will probably begin questioning systems. I mean, they already have with Pluto here, but this conjunction is going to um, multiply this energy, is going to amplify it. And people will begin questioning structures, rules that have been in place for decades. And there may be a strong drive to reinvent how we operate as a society, how we operate when it comes to technology, and as a culture as well. The energy becomes mentally charged under this conjunction, and conversations across the world can gain a sharper edge. Ideas can spread very rapidly. Collective awareness can increase more. A lot of us will notice that people will feel more opinionated, more outspoken, and more willing to disrupt outdated norms. Mercury adds the mental spark that gets people talking, debating, innovating, and sharing unusual ideas that once sounded too out there, but suddenly now they make more sense. Mars here is going to bring momentum and sometimes create tension. It can fuel activism, conflict, resistance, and breakthrough moments where people collectively decide that enough is enough. And so this can manifest as a cultural revolution, technological leaps, political shifts, and public awakenings as well. Mars will also push innovation into overdrive, and this is the kind of astrology that accelerates developments when it comes to AI, for example, science, space, medicine, humanitarian movements as well. However, the lucky part of this conjunction is Venus here, and Venus is going to soften the edge a little bit by bringing people together around shared values and collective ideals. So there may be a rise in community focused actions, in mutual aid, in social support systems. People may also become more open to unconventional relationships, to new social norms around love, and shifts in beauty standards and aesthetics as well. Art here may take on a futuristic, experimental flavor. Fashion can become bolder, more eccentric as well. The sun illuminates this entire transformation and adds a sense of global self awareness. Humanity begins seeing its reflection more clearly under this energy, both about what's beautiful and also what's broken. And so, this can inspire hope and collaboration among people, but it can also highlight the way society needs to grow up and evolve as well. Pluto is the deep engine behind all of this energy. Pluto's presence here makes everything feel more intense, more final, more consequential. It ushers in collective rebirth by exposing the shadows of technology, society, and power structures as well. Hidden truths can come up under this energy. Systemic weaknesses get noticed. But with Aquarius, these revolutions are here to destroy so they can be rebuilt as well. So overall, the collective energy during a stellium of this magnitude can feel like a turning point, and people may feel jolted awake, more future focused, and more willing to step away from tradition in favor of something more radical and something more new. The world may experience breakthroughs, shakeups, awakenings, and sudden shifts in collective consciousness. While the energy can be a little chaotic, it ultimately encourages humanity to evolve through a mix of rebellion, innovation, and a desire for greater freedom and equality. So, this is a moment where society doesn't change, it upgrades. And even it may feel a little weird or uncomfortable or intense, this can be the kind of transit that pushes everyone closer to the future that they are meant to step into. So now I'm going to start breaking down the impact of this conjunction for the 12 zodiac signs. Before you listen to your sign, keep in mind that I'm a Western astrologer. You can start listening to your rising sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. Those are going to be the most applicable to you. I wish you the best of luck, my dear astrology family, and now let's start with the 12 zodiac signs. Aries suns, moons, and risings. January is a month that is going to go in history because we're going to have a major stellium of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto aligned together in the sign of Aquarius. And for you, it's creating a power cycle in your 11th house, which is the house of friends, of allies, of networks, ambitions, long term goals, communities, and the way you fit into the collective. You're probably going to feel this energy the most from January 23rd to 25. However, the energy and the effects can be a week before and a week after. And of course, there's going to be things that are going to come out of this big, important alignment in the sky. This kind of cluster doesn't happen often, so when it does, it acts like a massive reset and empowerment portal in the area of the life that it touches. And so, for you, my dear Aries, I feel like a lot of you are going to have a reinvention of your social world and also some big ambition activation. Aquarius is about innovation, authenticity, liberation, and futuristic direction. So, for you as an Aries rising, this stellium can transform your social circles. It can really help you let go of old friends, of old social groups or communities that no longer align with you. At the same time, a lot of you are going to be called to bring you people who match your future and not your past anymore. You're probably going to have a lot of opportunities to connect and to create connections that are going to be influential, that are going to bring a lot of power to you. A lot of you will have opportunities to connect and meet with people that have a lot of money, that are wealthy, that have some sort of power in their hands. And of course, they're going to help you transform certain areas of your life. Venus rules two houses of the chart. Mars traditionally rules two houses of your chart. Mercury, two houses of your chart. Sun rules Leo, and Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So this is how big this conjunction can be. Many areas of your lives, multiple houses of your chart are being activated in massive ways, in very empowering ways. And a lot of you are going to refer to this date regarding your long term goals for the future, regarding your social groups. There's something meaningful that is going to be happening here. A lot of you will get visibility. Maybe you will be able to reach some sort of audience, especially if you have some sort of social media influence. A lot of you Aries are going to focus a lot on your long-term goals. Maybe you're going to get some sort of clarity and you're going to set some rules and some steps on how you're going to achieve your long-term dreams and goals for the future. A lot of you are probably going to have some gains from your career, from the work that you've been putting in out there. This stellium can mark a year, can be very meaningful for where you gain a lot of recognition. You might maybe step into a leadership position or maybe join a community where you become the leader. You might step into a role of authority or some sort of innovation because, again, this is Aquarius. A lot of you will see long held dreams finally also being manifested and coming into fruition. Because Pluto is involved, this isn't a small conjunction. We're going to have another conjunction also in January in the sign of Capricorn, but because Pluto is here, this makes it even more powerful and meaningful for you. And this can be a time where you're going to feel and witness a lot of transformation when it comes to who your friends are, when it comes to people that support you, when it comes to your personal long-term vision for your life, and also your place in society and your personal reputation as well. You're going to probably get a lot of attention, and your vitality is going to have you focus on your future goals, on your leadership roles in groups, a lot of focus on networking, on collaborations. Again, you might become very visible in your community and step into a leadership role because the sun is here. So the sun is giving you that attention, is making you shine more than the others. Mars at the same time brings supercharged energy towards initiating projects, towards fighting for some sort of reform or some sort of change that you want to achieve. Mars is going to help you, Aries, to push your boundaries, to stand out, and also to take bold steps towards your dreams. And Mars is your ruler, so you are going to take the action. You are going to be the initiator of this transformation when it comes to 11th house matters. Some of you are also going to cut ties aggressively with anyone who blocks your progress. So even though the effects of this big conjunction can be positive, the energy might not be very easy. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of intensity happening here, a lot of concentration when it comes to the energy. Because Mercury is in the sign of Aquarius, which is a placement that is characteristic for geniuses, for people that are very smart and intelligent, at the same time, you're going to have some sort of mental clarity. You're going to be able to make some sort of strategic planning and hold important conversations, maybe sign contracts, maybe network in a very profound way that is going to affect major decisions about your future. With Venus here also in the sign of Aquarius, you're going to have the opportunity for new friendships, for social harmony. You might be able to come across as somebody that is a benefactor to other people, and people will want to be around you and collaborate with you. You might also run into romantic or soulmate like connections through your groups, through events, or simply the internet as well. And again, Venus is the planet of finances, so some of you are going to experience maybe some sort of financial gain from your career. Now, again, let's go back to Pluto. This is a deep transformation because Pluto asks for authenticity to the soul level, to the core level. And therefore, a lot of you will feel probably inspired to end friendships that were weak or superficial. And at the same time, you may attract powerful but sometimes intense people under this energy. You might feel obsessed with your goals, with your long term plans for the future. You might feel obsessed with redefining your entire social identity. And because of that, some major long-term dream can finally begin to take form. And so I feel like this shift is going to be permanent and evolutionary. So keep in mind, if you want to achieve something big and something that you've been dreaming for a long time, you can definitely do this under this energy. This sounds like a fantastic time, my dear Aries. Also, keep in mind that this is in a positive aspect to your sign. You're going to feel this the most or most positively if you are between 0 to 10 degrees in the sign of Aries. But nevertheless, you're going to feel this conjunction in your life. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Take care. Taurus, suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is a remarkable month because we have an important major alignment in the sky, a stellium of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto, all together in the sign of Aquarius in your 10th house. This conjunction is happening exactly on January 23rd. However, the energy can feel very intense a week before, a week after, and of course, the consequences or the results of this conjunction are going to be felt for a very long time. Your 10th house rules your career, your reputation, status, authority, your public image, and your entire life direction. This is one of the biggest career and status shifts a Taurus rising can experience in a decade. So it can be a very potent and meaningful, transformative period of your life, my dear Taurians. This stellium in the 10th house can act like a massive elevation, redirection, or rebirth when it comes to your career path, your public reputation, your personal authority, or your leadership that you have in your life or that you have over other people. And it also can impact the way how other people see you. This stellium can really impact your entire life mission, and you might be transformed in a way that you never thought about before. You might be transformed and empowered in a way that you didn't even imagine before. And because Pluto here is involved, this energy is not subtle. It's deep, profound transformation. It can be long-lasting and fate-driven as well. A major theme that I see for Taurus risings is career turning point. This can bring a new job or a new role in the company that you work in. Some of you Taurians are going to get a promotion. You might be put in a leadership or managerial responsibility that is going to be profound and is going to bring a lot of power in your hands. A lot of you might be able to launch a business, or it could be that your business explodes in a profound way that it takes you by surprise and it makes you very empowered. Some of you Taurians are going to transition into long desired field if you've been wanting to change career or to change your job. Some of you are going to step into a public position. You're going to be very visible. This is the most visible area of your chart. Other people will have their eyes on you, will want to copy you, will want to do like you do, will want to listen to you, to listen to your opinion, to listen to what you have to say. It's a very profound period of your life or moment, because this is a moment, but the results are going to be long lasting. And then if you've been working for a long time to achieve something, some sort of promotion or some sort of recognition, you're definitely going to be able to achieve that under this transit. So expect some sort of professional identity reformation, and you're going to be reborn when it comes to the way how other people see you. You're going to definitely have increased visibility, and some of you may appear more in public. You again might gain a lot of attention and recognition as well. You might be able to build some sort of reputation that can be long lasting for you. And some of you will grow a following, especially if you are in the social media. A lot of you Taurians are going to become known for your expertise, and that will bring the spotlight back to you. You might have a lot of influence from authoritative figures, and this conjunction here can look like some major help you can receive from a powerful mentor. You might have intense interactions with your boss or different bosses if you work with different hierarchy in a company. There might be changes in leadership at your job, in your career, meaning that your manager or your boss comes into power, they move away, and then a new person comes in. So there might be some shifts there. However, for some of you, there could be someone influential opening doors for you. And that way, you're going to have some sort of authority as well through somebody that is powerful. You might be the one that is challenging or replacing an authority figure here as well, because Venus is part of this great conjunction, and that is your chart ruler. So you might be the initiator. You might be the one that takes action to remove someone else from a certain power and bring someone else or yourself into power. You may completely shift the way how you're perceived in the world. You may shift the way that you're known for or what you're known for. And the role that you play in the world can change. Past versions of your career or your status can fall away as you step into a more authentic path. With Sun in the 10th house, again, you are the star, you are shining. There's big spotlight on your career, increased visibility, leadership, and ambition as well. Mars here is going to supercharge you with drive and motivation. You're going to push hard, you're going to fight for your goals, and you might take bold action and can achieve major progress at the same time. But be careful and be mindful, because this conjunction can also bring conflict with bosses. It may bring high expectations or a lot of pressure, or you might really want to overwork to be able to achieve this material dream of yours that you want to manifest into existence. Mercury here in the 10th house can bring important conversations and decisions. And in the sign of Aquarius, Mercury is very strong. People that have Mercury in Aquarius are geniuses. They're very smart, very intelligent. And with that being said, you're going to have the right clarity that you need to be able to do negotiations, to write contracts that are going to benefit you. If you are wanting to change jobs, you might do very well in job interviews. If you have your own business, you're going to have the right clarity to do the right business planning and to have some sort of strategic thinking as well when it comes to your services and products that you offer. So communication can really shape your future during this conjunction. Now let's talk about Venus here as well. Venus, your chart ruler and the ruler of your 6th house, is going to bring harmony, support, and beneficial relationships in your profession. So you might be able to to bring attractive offers to you. You might be able to improve your reputation, to bring financial opportunities your way. You might receive support from your colleagues, from your coworkers, and at the same time, even your enemies can help you under this transit. They can benefit you in one way or another. You might be liked by authority figures at the same time, or by the public if you have your own thing or your own business. So you can become more magnetic professionally. And now lastly, let's talk about Pluto. Pluto is going to bring the deepest transformation while it transits your 10th house. Big transformation in your career, big transformation in your household, in your relationships with other people as well, and your sense of identity. But with this conjunction here of these planets, Pluto is bringing a power shift in your career. There may be an end of an old professional identity, and at the same time, a start of a more powerful or future oriented direction. So, a lot of you might be able to step into authority, you might become more influential, and let go of outdated status roles. So, this can be a life changing conjunction, like I said. But don't expect this energy to be easy. This is a conjunction. Personal planets are all involved here with Pluto. It can feel very intense, very transformative, sometimes intimidating as well. However, keep in mind that the results of this conjunction are going to be long lasting and you're going to feel the effects of it. And it's happening in the most visible house of your chart. So I wish you the best of luck, my dear Taurians. Gemini suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a remarkable month because we have an important alignment in the sky with Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all together in the sign of Aquarius, activating your ninth house. The energy is going to be felt the most between January 23rd and 25. This is when the conjunction is the closest. However, the energy and the atmosphere and the buildup can be felt a week before that and a week after as well. Now, the results that are going to come from this conjunction are also going to be felt for a very long time because we have personal planets being activated here under the energy of Pluto. So, the ninth house for you, my dear Geminis, it rules your worldview, your belief systems, your higher education, long distance travel, immigration, publishing, spirituality, and the search for meaning. When this many planets gather together in your ninth house, especially with Pluto involved, life often enters a period of deep expansion, philosophical awakening, and major reorientation towards your future direction. This influence can feel like your mind, your vision, and your understanding of your purpose are being reborn. For Gemini rising specifically, this is a transit that reshapes not just what you think about the world, but also what you believe is possible for your life. So you are likely to experience a strong sense of curiosity, a desire to break out of old limits, and also a hunger to seek experiences that feel bigger, that feel truer, and more meaningful than whatever defined your past. The presence of Pluto here intensifies everything, so a change in your world might begin with a single idea, with a moment of inspiration, or some sort of encounter with new knowledge or new people who shift your trajectory. You may feel compelled to pursue a new field of study, to commit to a spiritual path, to delve into metaphysics or psychology, or to explore some sort of subject that alters the way you see yourself. For some people, this transit marks the beginning of teaching other people, of publishing some sort of content, or stepping into a role where your voice reaches a broader audience. I feel like the stellium here, my dear Geminis, is going to create some sort of build-up for whenever Uranus goes back into your sign and remains in the sign of Gemini. So you're going to have maybe some sort of spiritual awakening and deep understanding of what your life direction needs to be. And therefore, when Uranus goes back into the sign of Gemini, now you have the the rebellion that you need, or that spirit within you to be able to break free of old belief systems and start something fresh and completely new in your life. When Mars joins the stellium, your motivation is most likely going to increase to pursue new horizons. So you may feel more bold or restless, willing to take risks or to make decisions that you have been hesitating about. So this transit often can push you to travel, to relocate, to make plans connected to faraway places. Maybe your desire for freedom is going to get so strong that you may no longer tolerate environments or people or beliefs that feel restrictive or outdated. Venus here is going to bring some sort of support, harmony, and opportunities through relationships. So you may form some sort of connection with people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, or you might meet someone who opens doors for you intellectually, spiritually, or professionally. Relationships formed under ninth house stelliums can feel expansive in nature and meaningful because they can be a big part of your personal growth. Mercury, which rules you, becomes especially important here. With Mercury in your ninth house, your thinking can become sharper, more visionary, and more future oriented. Individuals who are born with Mercury in the sign of Aquarius, they are generally like genius. They are very intelligent, very smart. So you're going to get that mental clarity that you need when it comes to when it comes to changing and shifting your belief system or transforming your belief system. A lot of you, my dear Geminis, are going to begin studying something new, maybe teaching or sharing your ideas with other people. So your mind can become rich with possibilities, and conversations or encounters that you're going to have during this period can completely reroute your entire perspective. The sun shines a spotlight on your belief systems and purpose. It can lead you to wonder whether the path that you're in is aligning with who you're becoming. And because we have Pluto here, you're definitely going to choose to be more authentic. You're definitely going to abandon old dreams in favor of newer and more aligned ones. If you've been struggling with immigration issues, such as citizenship, green cards, visas, and things like that, you're definitely going to have a lot of focus here, some sort of development that can be life changing. It can empower you in one way or another, or it can transform your life in profound ways. The ninth house is also the house of good karma. So a lot of you Geminis are going to get paid, quote unquote, in wonderful ways when it comes to the good deeds that you've done in this lifetime and past lifetimes as well, because the stellium is in a trine to your sign, and especially if you're between 0 to 10 degrees of Gemini, you're going to feel this alignment the most. So this period, this stellium can create a period where everything in your life can expand outward. You might be growing intellectually, spiritually, and even geographically, whatever that word is. So you might be able to travel abroad, go to faraway lands and countries. You might start an educational journey. You might write something or publish something that is going to catch the attention of other people. And so you're going to experience a shift in your philosophy that is going to definitely change your entire life direction. Now, like I said, this conjunction is happening specifically between January 23rd and 25, but the decision that is going to happen here, or that situation that is going to happen here, is going to definitely shift your life and your entire perspective for a very long time. This is what I have for you, my dear Geminis, regarding the stellium that is so important for all signs. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Cancer suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a month that is definitely going to go in the books. We're going to have two important alignments in the sky. One of them is Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto coming together in a stellium in the sign of Aquarius, activating your 8th house specifically. This stellium is happening exactly on January 23rd to 25, so the energy is going to be the most intense during these days. However, the buildup can be felt a week before that and also the effects of it a week after. There's going to be probably some sort of life-changing event for you and for everybody else that whose consequences or whose results are going to be felt for a very long time. So this period can be really life-changing and a turning point for everyone. And for you, my dear Cancers, this is happening in your eighth house, which is one of the most intense, private, and transformative areas of your chart. When this many planets gather here, especially with Pluto involved, you enter a period of profound inner change. This transit touches your psychology, your emotional patterns, your relationship to intimacy, your shared finances, your own fears, and the parts of yourself that you usually keep hidden. For Cancers, this stellium can feel like a deep awakening that begins beneath the surface. Issues you've avoided, repressed, or carried quietly may suddenly demand some sort of attention. Not to harm you, but to liberate you from some old emotional burden. A lot of you might find yourself confronting wounds around trust, around attachment, abandonment, or past relationships. Yet, even when the process feels heavy, it can bring a lot of empowerment, clarity, and emotional maturity. Because the eighth house rules shared resources, there can be some sort of major development involving finances that you share with other people. And this can include investments, loans, debts, taxes, inheritances, insurance matters, or your partner's income. So, some of you Cancers might enter a phase where joint financial decisions can become more important, or where money flows in or out in ways that force you to kind of reorganize your plans. But the presence of Venus here suggests that financial opportunities or support may be available to you, while Pluto and Mars indicate that you may need to assert control or make some decisive choices. Emotionally, this stellium can push a lot of you to dig deeper into levels of intimacy, at least more than you used to. You may crave closeness, but also can struggle with being vulnerable, as the eighth house often exposes old fears around trusting other people. So, there can be a relationship that may intensify under this energy. It can become more honest. It can reach a turning point where deeper commitment or deeper truth is required. So, encounters during this time can feel karmic, fated, or transformative, as as if certain people can be catalysts for some sort of personal inner evolution. Psychologically, my dear Cancers, this is a time when you shed old versions of yourself. Any toxic patterns, limiting beliefs, or unconscious fears can arise to the surface so that you can release them. So you might gain this crazy, amazing emotional strength and transformation that is going to really help you shift your entire life direction in a different way, in a more empowering way. Pluto's presence can make this a cycle of death and rebirth. Not physical, of course, but emotional and spiritual as well. So, a lot of you may feel compelled to explore topics such as psychology, the occult, trauma healing, or issues regarding personal power. Some of you might get astrology readings, you may become astrologers under this energy, or something can shift within you to where you become way more curious about these things. You begin to understand your shadow side and your true desires with far more clarity. Mars here in the eighth house can increase your drive to uncover truth and confront uncomfortable realities. So you might find yourself pushing through fears that once held you back. Mercury sharpens your perception and it can help you articulate emotions that previously felt impossible to express. And then we also have the sun here, which can bring consciousness to hidden areas of your life. It can help you illuminate what needs to be transformed. And Venus again helps soften the entire process. Venus helps you to have some sort of emotional support to achieve some sort of healing or deeper bonding with someone else that you can trust. So, overall, my dear Cancers, this stellium in your eighth house can mark a profound period of psychological evolution. It will ask you to maybe release what no longer serves you anymore and step into a more empowered version of yourself. By the time this transit is over, or this stellium is done, you're definitely going to feel lighter, stronger, clearer, and more in touch with your own inner strength. Pluto is very powerful here in the eighth house. It's the house where it feels the most comfortable. So this stellium over here, this great conjunction over here, this big conjunction, it can help you reclaim your own power. It can help you transform old emotional patterns and deepen your connection to both yourself and to other people. This stellium can also mean a lot of wealth, a lot of money. You might have some sort of investment blowing up and making a lot of money for you, especially if it's related to other people's money. Some sort of investment, some sort of collaboration that you're doing with someone else regarding a business. All those things can have some sort of success and some sort of spotlight under this energy. This is what I have for you, my dear Cancers. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Take care. Leo suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a profound month that is going to bring life-changing events for everyone in the world. We're going to have an alignment in the sky that is very powerful, a stellium of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto, all together in the sign of Aquarius. And for you, my dear Leos, this is happening in your 7th house, making you one of the most impacted signs from this stellium. The conjunction and the stellium between these planets is going to be exact on January 23rd. The conjunction is going to be tighter during this time, from January 23rd to January 25. Those 2-3 days are going to be very meaningful. However, the buildup can be felt a week before this and the results a week after. So, like, the intensity can be felt a week before and a week after. However, there can be some decisive moment here that is going to change your life in a very profound way, and the results are going to be felt for a very long time. Now, having this stellium and this conjunction in your 7th house, which governs committed relationships, partnerships, your marriage, contracts, and the way you relate to others on a one-to-one level, can bring profound changes that are going to shake up your entire identity, your world, the way how you live, your living circumstances, and even your career, your job, and what you do in the world. When this many planets gather here in your 7th house, especially with Pluto involved, relationships become the central focus of your life, demanding your attention, your honesty, your growth, and in many ways, your own transformation. So this transit can bring turning points in your existing relationships. If you are already partnered, the relationship may deepen, it may intensify, or reveal some truths that were previously unspoken. You may feel compelled to renegotiate the dynamics between you and your partner, and you may address power imbalances or confront issues that have been simmering beneath the surface. Pluto tends to expose whatever has been avoided, and even though this can feel very uncomfortable, it can push your relationship towards greater authenticity, into something more real, something more heartfelt. Some couples find themselves committing more deeply during this period, while others may decide to part ways if the relationship no longer aligns with who they're becoming. And that can be very true for you too, my dear Leos. You might be the one that decides to let go of a partner of yours. The Sun, your chart ruler, is also involved in this conjunction, and it can be that you are the initiator of some sort of breakup. Or if you are in a solid marriage or relationship, then things are going to get even deeper, and there's some sort of transformation here. If you are single, this stellium can bring significant new relationships into your life. These connections are rarely casual during a 7th house Pluto transit, and with all these planets conjunct Pluto. So you're probably going to feel like any interaction or some sort of interaction is faded, intense, or transformative. Some of you might meet someone who changes your entire life direction. It challenges your beliefs about partnerships or awakens emotions within you that you were not expecting. Because Venus and Mars are both present, there is a strong blend of attraction, some sort of desire, harmony, and magnetism. So, in case you meet someone here, know that the relationship that you two may develop is going to be very intense. And you are more likely to draw in people who mirror aspects of your own evolution, including traits that you are trying to develop within yourself. Mercury here in the seventh house in this conjunction encourages deeper conversations and clearer communication. And this can be a time when you may speak more openly about your own needs, about your boundaries, about your expectations in relationships. Honest dialogue can become necessary, and any misunderstandings that were previously brushed aside, they are going to be addressed. The sun, your chart ruler, brings awareness to your relational patterns and shows you where you have been giving too much or too little. So some of you might seek validation, or might, instead of seeking validation, you might seek some sort of genuine connection and have heart-to-heart conversations like a true Leah would do, heartfelt conversations that are going to bring some sort of profound relationship in your life. Mars here adds passion and intensity, but also some potential for conflict. So, this is when things get a little tricky. You or your partner may become more assertive, you may be more reactive, or more determined to bring unresolved issues to the forefront. It could be that they are the ones that are doing this. Although disagreements may arise, they serve the purpose of clearing the air and prompting some sort of growth for you and the other person as well. And with these planets all working together, you're definitely going to be pushed to redefine what partnership truly means to you and what kind of person you want to share your life with. Pluto, of course, is the deepest influence here, and that's why I decided to pick this conjunction and talk about it, because its presence indicates that you're going to approach to commitment, to intimacy and connection in a transformative way. And you may attract people who are powerful, intense, unconventional. Be careful of power struggles, though. Be careful of attracting open enemies that can be very powerful. You may also realize that old relational patterns, perhaps tendencies to control, to detach, or to overgive, they can no longer continue for you. And so this transit is going to teach some of you, Leos, that you have to relate to other people from a place of strength instead of a place of fear. So if you have some sort of fear in a sort of contract or relationship or business partnership with someone else, just know that this transit is going to invite you to undress yourself from this fear and be more confrontational and more assertive as well. So the relationships can become a gateway for self-development under this transit, and through love, through partnership and interaction with others, you may discover new aspects about yourself, about your home situation, your living situation, about your own career path and what you want to be known to the world. Whether a new relationship is going to enter your life or you're going to experience some sort of transformation of an existing one, a lot of you Leos are going to emerge from this period with a clear understanding of what real partnership means and what kind of connection your soul is truly seeking. This is what I have for you, my dear Leos, for this conjunction and stellium in your seventh house. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Take care. Virgo suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a profound month that is going to mark some sort of a big transformation in everybody's lives. And that is because we're going to have 5 different planets coming together in a conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. We're going to have Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto activating your 6th house, which is the house that rules your work environment, your daily routines, your health, habits, productivity, your responsibilities, and the way you manage your time and energy. The energy is the most potent between January 23rd and 25. However, the intensity and the buildup and the energy is going to be felt a week before and a week after as well. There can be something life changing during this time that is going to have some sort of result or consequences for a very long time, because this planet's coming together marks something meaningful in everybody's lives. These many planets entering the sixth house of yours can mark a period where your everyday life can become the center of transformation. A lot of you Virgos will focus maybe not on external events, but on systems and structures that you have in place that shape who you are on a daily basis, what you do every day, and how you treat your body, and how you manage your workload, and how you organize your life. All of these things are going to begin to shift. With Pluto present, this is not a superficial change. A lot of you Virgos are going to enter a deep restructuring phase that can affect your workflow, your habits, and your relationship with your own well being. Patterns that have been draining you, such as overworking, perfectionism, self neglect, or taking on too many responsibilities, all of these things can begin to break down. Something in your routine that you used to tolerate can start feeling impossible to continue. So you may feel a strong internal push to simplify, to detoxify, or completely reform the way that you live your day to day life. There can be some major shifts at workplace, my dear Virgos. You may change jobs, you may take on new duties, or find that the dynamics with coworkers can evolve in significant ways. Pluto often brings power dynamics to the surface, so you may encounter situations where you must assert boundaries. You might take back control over your time, or you might stand up for yourself. At the same time, a lot of you may be given new opportunities to step into a new role or some sort of authority or greater responsibility. The sun here in this house increases visibility on your day to day life. At the same time, Mars increases initiative, and then Mercury ensures that communication and planning can become central themes in your day to day work. Keep in mind, my dear Virgos, that this house is the house of your physical body, of your health, of your hygiene. So, all these things can become an important focus. This stellium and this conjunction can push you to become more aware of your physical and mental well being. You may begin your routines, dietary changes, or healing practices that radically improve your vitality. Venus brings supportive, harmonious influences that can make it easier to take care of your physical body. Again, Mars pushes you toward more discipline and action, or to become physically more active. Maybe some of you will feel inspired to start a workout routine or to transform and to change it in a way that can make you feel stronger in your physical body. Pluto forces you to confront unhealthy habits and to try to release them. For many Virgo risings, this becomes a cycle of purification where you shed patterns that no longer support your personal growth. Emotionally, this transit can ask a lot of you to examine why you take on so many responsibilities and whether your routines that you have in place truly reflect your values. So, a lot of you may realize that your daily life needs more balance, it needs more rest, it needs more meaning. You begin shifting from simply maintaining your life to actively designing it in a way that serves you. And of course, this energy is not easy, it is intense, but you're definitely going to transform your day to day life in profound ways that are going to empower you emotionally and physically as well. So, in conclusion, my dear Virgo risings, this stellium in the sixth house can initiate a powerful period of restructuring. You become more intentional with your time, more disciplined in your habits, and more aware of what your body and mind truly need. The result is probably going to be more efficiency. You're going to feel healthier and more empowered about yourself, but it has to go through some sort of facing your fears, facing some sort of insecurity, or facing some bad habits that maybe you've had in place, or addictions that you've had in place that you need to let go, transform, so that you can have some sort of purification. So your life can change from inside out, setting the foundation for more stability and some sort of success in the years to come. So this period can be a turning point for a lot of you. This is what I have for you, my dear Virgos, for this conjunction and stellium in the sign of Aquarius in January. Keep in mind that month is going to be life changing. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Libra suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a month that is definitely going to the books. And it's going to be quite memorable because we have two major conjunctions and stelliums happening in two different signs. One is happening in the sign of Capricorn and the other one in the sign of Aquarius. But on this video, I'm going to talk about this conjunction and stellium that we're going to have in the sign of Aquarius, because Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all are going to activate your fifth house, which for you, dear Libras, is the area of romance, creativity, pleasure, self-expression, sexuality, children, fertility, and the pursuit of joy. So when these many planets gather in your fifth house, life can become more emotionally vivid, more expressive, and more centered on desire. A lot of you will begin to reconnect with parts of yourself that want to feel alive, inspired, and passionately engaged with the world. This conjunction is the most intense between January 23rd and 25 of 2026. However, the buildup is going to be felt a week before, and that intensity is still going to be felt a week after. And of course, something could be happening that is so major that we're going to feel the results and consequences of for a very long time. Because Pluto is involved, this period brings transformative experiences related to love, to creativity, or to personal identity. It can really awaken intense romantic feelings, or bring in a relationship for some of you into your life that feels faded and deeply impactful. If you are already seeing someone, the relationship may deepen, it may intensify, or push you to confront your own desires and fears around passion and being vulnerable. If you are a Libra that is single, this transit can bring someone in who stirs your heart in ways you may not have even thought about before, because Pluto is so intense and so profound, and it can be a relationship that is going to touch you right on your soul. The fifth house doesn't deal with casual emotion, and with Pluto's energy here, feelings tend to be consuming, more magnetic, and impossible to ignore. The fifth house also governs creativity, and this stellium can awaken a powerful surge of artistic inspiration. So, a lot of you, dear Libras, may feel compelled to express yourself in a more authentic and bold way, whether it can be through art, performance, writing, or another creative outlet. You might begin a new creative project that feels transformative, or discover a part of your identity that had been dormant. The Sun and Venus together can enhance your charm. It can make your aesthetic be more attractive and pleasant to the eye. And it can make you have some sort of desire to create something meaningful. And then we also have Mars here, which is going to add the drive and courage. And it's going to push a lot of you to take risks in your creative life that you may have previously avoided. The fifth house is also the house of children, and this transit can bring developments related to pregnancy, to fertility, or simply your relationship with children. It can be your own children or someone else's children. Some Libra risings may feel a stronger desire to start a family, or it could be that some of you may experience a significant event in the life of a child that you're connected to. Others of you may find that that you're redefining what creating a legacy means to you. And you can maybe try to dive deeper and increase your knowledge when it comes to nurturing and bringing children into this world. Emotionally, this stellium can push a lot of you Libras to rediscover joy. If you have been living too cautiously or with a lot of responsibilities, this period can encourage you to step into pleasure, to be more playful, and to be more spontaneous as well. You may even surprise yourself by becoming more expressive, more daring, and more willing to follow your heart. At the same time, Pluto can ensure that you're not escaping into superficial pleasures. You're going to be asked to experience joy in a way that feels genuine, empowering, and deeply connected to who you are becoming as a person. So, romantic intensity, creative breakthroughs, a stronger connection to your desire, and a renewed sense of playfulness can become major themes for a lot of you. Beneath the surface, though, this transit is ultimately about reclaiming your own personal identity. Venus is involved here, and Venus is your chart ruler, so it could be that you are going to reshape yourself, the way how you think about yourself in profound ways. The fifth house reminds you that joy is something that should not be left aside. It is actually a vital part of your soul's growth. And this period is probably going to help a lot of you Libras to reconnect with your inner fire, with your own passion, and the part of you that feels alive when you're fully expressing your heart. A lot of you, through love, through creativity, or personal discovery, you're going to become more confident, more vibrant, and probably more aligned with what truly inspires you. So there could be some sort of situation with any of these themes that is going to be life changing for you and probably reshape your entire identity and life path as well. This is what I have for you, my dear Libras. I wish you the best of luck during this transit, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Scorpio suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a remarkable month because we're going to have multiple alignments in the sky that bring a lot of significance. One of them is a conjunction and a stellium that we're going to have of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto, all aligned together in the sign of Aquarius, which brings a lot of concentration, in your fourth house. This energy is going to be felt the most between January 23rd and 25. However, the intensity can be felt a week before and a week after, and there could be some significant event that is going to bring results for a very long time. Now, the fourth house for you, my dear Scorpios, governs your home, your family, your roots, your emotional foundations, your private life, and also psychological structures that support your identity. When this many planets gather in your fourth house, especially with Pluto and Mars both involved, which are your rulers, the transformation can be profound and deeply personal. This is a period where something foundational within you or within your home life is being rebuilt, restructured, or reborn. For a lot of Scorpio risings, this transit begins with a growing restlessness around the idea of home. Some of you may feel a sudden urge to change where you live, how you live, or who you live with. A relocation, renovation, or shift in your living environment becomes not just possible, but very, very likely. So, even if you don't move, even if you physically don't move, the energy inside your home may shift dramatically. The space that you live in may need to be reorganized, cleansed, or redefined in one way or another so that it reflects who you are becoming as a person and not who you were before. Family dynamics also come into sharp focus. Pluto has a way of bringing hidden emotional patterns, family secrets, unresolved tensions, or generational cycles to the surface. Conversations or realizations may occur that change the way you relate to family members or the way you understand your past. Some of you may discover new truths when it comes to your childhood, or you might confront wounds that you've carried for years. But the purpose here is liberation and not suffering. This period frees you from emotional baggage that no longer belongs to you and no longer serves you anymore. Emotionally, this stellium and this conjunction turns your attention inward. Rather than reaching outward for validation, you may begin to examine your inner world with greater clarity and honesty as well. Some of you Scorpios may start healing old patterns related to security, to attachment, and vulnerability. Because Scorpio rising already experiences life intensely, this inward dive can feel both powerful and cathartic. Mars adds motivation to confront emotional issues that you've been avoiding. Mercury encourages reflection and communication. Venus helps soften the process and supports emotional harmony, and the Sun highlights what needs to be changed. So, Pluto's role here is the deepest. We also have another conjunction in the month of January in the sign of Capricorn, but Pluto is not involved there. That's why I feel like this conjunction can even be deeper, even more profound, even more intense because of the presence of Pluto here. This is an important conjunction in your fourth house that can signal a period of psychological rebirth. You may be shedding versions of yourself that were built on old trauma, on childhood conditioning, or outdated emotional frameworks. This may feel like clearing the basement of your soul. It may be difficult at first because this is happening in the most vulnerable side of your chart, but ultimately it's going to be freeing for a lot of you. And by the end of this transit, a lot of you Scorpios are going to emerge stronger, more grounded, and more in control of your personal inner world. The stellium may also symbolize power shifts within the family. You may take on more responsibilities. You might redefine boundaries, or you might simply reclaim authority in situations where you previously felt powerless. There may be a family member for some of you that has something profound happening in their life. They may undergo changes that indirectly also alter your own environment. The fourth house again is the most private area of your chart, so these events tend to be deeply personal. However, because this is opposite your 10th house, it can also reflect in a public way, meaning that something significant may happen in your family or home environment that is also going to be reflected in the eyes of other people as well. Some of you might have some sort of change when it comes to moving in or moving out with a partner of yours, with a marriage partner or long-term partner. And once you make that change and shift when it comes to your home environment and that relationship with that other individual, that is also going to affect you in your personal identity and how you think about yourself and your whole life direction. So overall, the stellium in the fourth house can mark a time when your emotional foundation is rebuilt from the ground up. You may create a new sense of security, one that is based not on fear or survival. Okay, this is Pluto, but on self awareness, on healing, and personal empowerment as well. This is the better side of Pluto. As your inner world transforms, so does your outer world. By the end of this period, you might find yourself living in a new place, relating to your family in a new way, or understanding yourself at a depth that you didn't know was possible. This is a conjunction and a transit of emotional liberation and the creation of a stronger and more authentic home within yourself. So, in the end of the day, my dear Scorpios, it is all about you. You have your two chart rulers, your modern one and traditional one, coming together very strongly in your fourth house. Just be careful of huge conflicts with family members because that's going to be the shadow side of this conjunction. But I will tell you this, that if things have been building up within your emotional world, sometimes you need conjunctions like this to kind of let it out and explode and Ask for boundaries, ask for the truth, ask for something that is right and that is fair for you and to the other person as well. So don't be afraid of powerful energies like this. Like you're a Scorpio, so I know you're very strong emotionally. But this can definitely mark something meaningful in your life that is going to be felt for a very long time, or the better said, the consequences of it or the results of it are going to be felt for a very long time. This is what I have for you, my dear Scorpios. I wish you the best of luck for this transit, and I'm going to see you on the next video. Take care. Sagittarius suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be such a remarkable and memorable month because we're going to have some important alignments in the sky. And one of them is a big conjunction and stellium that is happening in the sign of Aquarius. We're going to have a conjunction of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all together in your third house, which governs your mind, your communication, your thinking patterns, your daily environment, siblings, neighbors, learning, writing, speaking, and the way you gather and process information. When this many planets enter the third house, especially with Pluto involved, your entire mental landscape begins to shift. And the way you think, talk, learn, and relate to your immediate world and environment can undergo a powerful transformation. This conjunction is going to be felt the most, or is the tightest, between January 23 and 25. However, the buildup is going to be felt a week before that and the intensity a week after. There can be some life-changing event that you're going to feel the results and consequences of for a very long time. This transit brings a surge of mental intensity for you. Your thoughts can become sharper, deeper, and more penetrating than usual, almost as if a new intellectual layer of yourself is awakening. Some of you may become obsessed with learning something new, with researching a topic, solving a problem, or understanding hidden truths behind everyday situations. Pluto in the third house encourages a kind of psychological excavation. You begin to notice patterns in yourself and in other people that you previously overlooked. And you may uncover motivations, fears, or insights that dramatically reshape your perspective. Communication can become a major theme here. You may feel compelled to speak more openly, more boldly, and more honestly than before. Conversations that, for example, felt more superficial before, now they may strike you as empty, and you're going to gravitate toward depth, authenticity, and intellectual intimacy. This shift can bring transformative discussions with your siblings, relatives, or people in your immediate circle. And if there have been any unresolved tensions or misunderstandings, then they might come to the surface so that they can be dealt with. And so at the same time, this transit can improve your communication skills. It can make you more persuasive, more precise, more influential, but it won't come without some sort of confrontation and uh, debates and discussions that need to take place. Your daily routines can also evolve here during this period. The third house rules the rhythm of your everyday life, your commute, your habits, your schedule, the way you multitask, and the things that you do on autopilot, basically. So, under this stellium, you may feel inspired to restructure your routine, to create new habits, or to eliminate distractions. And with so many planets here, you're going to have some increased motivation, especially with the presence of Mars. Mars can give you the mental energy that you need, making you more productive, more decisive, and quick thinking. And then Mercury here in the sign of Aquarius, which a lot of astrologers think that Mercury is exalted here, it can add clarity and focus. The sun brings awareness to the small details that you normally overlook. And then you have Venus here that also helps you connect with others in ways that feel enjoyable and harmonious. There can be a lot of developments with your siblings, with your cousins, with your neighbors. You may reconnect or strengthen bonds or address long standing issues. Pluto's involvement here suggests that these relationships may undergo changes or reveal important truths. Sometimes a sibling or relative experiences a significant event that affects you indirectly. The transit can also be highly creative in a mental sense. Some of you Sagittarians are going to be involved into writing, speaking, teaching, studying, social media, or content creation. And so this period can be extremely productive and transformative in that sense. You may begin a major project, such as a book, a blog, a channel, a course, or shift your online presence in a way that changes your entire trajectory. Some of you might be able to purchase a car, to buy a car, to change your car, to remodel it, to beautify it. When it comes to your emotional world, this stellium encourages you to become more aware of your internal narratives. You may realize that certain beliefs or thought patterns have limited your personal growth, and you may begin rewriting them. And this is a time where the mind becomes the most powerful tool, and you might be able and capable of shaping your reality in profound ways. So, all in all, my dear Sagittarians, this stellium here in the third house can mark a period of mental awakening and intellectual empowerment. Your thoughts can gain depth, your voice can gain strength, and your mind can become a force of transformation. You might emerge from this period thinking differently, communicating differently, and moving through your day to day life with a new sense of clarity, purpose, and mental authority. Again, you can get a lot of spotlight in social media if that's something that you do. You might be able to travel locally as well, and maybe go to a place that is nearby, but it's going to transform you and change you in a profound way that you're probably not expecting. This is what I have for you, my dear Sagittarians. I wish you the best of luck under this transit, and I'll see you on the next video. Capricorn suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a memorable month because we're going to have two great big conjunctions and stelliums happening in two different signs. One is going to be in your sign and the other one in the sign of Aquarius. But on this video, I'm going to talk about the one in the sign of Aquarius. We're going to have a stellium of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto activating your second house, which governs your money, income, possessions, your self worth, confidence, and the way that you build stability in your life. When this many planets gather in your second house, especially with Pluto involved, you enter a period of powerful financial transformation and a deep reevaluation of what you value and how you support yourself. This conjunction is the tightest on January 23rd to 25. However, you're going to feel the buildup a week before that and the intensity a week after. And there can be some sort of event that is going to be so life changing that you're going to feel the results and consequences of it for a very long time. This transit often begins with heightened awareness around your money. You may start to question whether the way you earn a living truly reflects your abilities and whether your financial habits are helping or hindering your future. So, for a lot of you, dear Capricorns, this can be a turning point in your material life, one that leads to greater empowerment and independence. Pluto, in particular, pushes you to take control over your finances in a way you may not have before. You may feel compelled to eliminate debt, to build wealth, to invest, or to create a more secure foundation for yourself. Your relationship with your own worth also undergoes significant transformation here. The second house is not only about money, it's about how much you believe you deserve. So this stellium and this conjunction can bring moments or a certain moment where you confront old insecurities or limiting beliefs about your abilities or your personal value. It can encourage you to build a stronger internal sense of confidence that doesn't depend on external validation. A lot of you may begin demanding more, maybe asking for higher pay, better treatment, greater respect, because you finally recognize your own worth. Mars here increases your drive to earn more or improve your financial situation. You may work harder, you may be able to negotiate more assertively, or you might be able to initiate your projects that can bring you more income. So, this is a conjunction and a period where motivation increases, and you may feel restless or ambitious when it comes to building security for yourself. And with Venus here, the planet of finances, you can literally experience and have financial opportunities, supportive connections, or an easier flow when it comes to your personal income. Venus here also helps you increase your desire to enjoy what you earn and to create a more balanced relationship between saving and spending. Mercury here in the sign of Aquarius is very strong, very powerful, and it can sharpen your thinking about money. So, a lot of you Capricorns may feel very inspired to research investments, budgeting strategies, or new sources of income. You might engage in important conversations about finances, contracts, negotiations. The sun here brings clarity to your financial priorities, and it can help you see where your resources need to be reallocated. Now, Pluto, which is the biggest guy here, or the most significant part of this conjunction, it can ensure that any change that you make is going to be long lasting and meaningful. This is a chance to rebuild your financial structure from the ground up. This transit also redefines what you value on a deeper level. So, some of you may begin prioritizing stability, freedom, or self sufficiency in new ways. It could be that some objects or things that you own that once meant something important to you, that now they can become unnecessary, and you may feel compelled to simplify your life or to surround yourself with things that hold some sort of emotional or spiritual meaning instead of some sort of material weight. Your sense of what truly matters also becomes more redefined and authentic as well. For some of you Capricorns, this period and this conjunction can bring major external financial development. You can experience salary change, you might get a new job, you might have some sort of investment opportunity, some sort of inheritance, or significant purchase as well. And then for others of you, this transformation can be internal but just as powerful. You may learn to view yourself and your abilities through a more empowered lens, one that supports a healthier relationship with more abundance as well. So, overall, my dear Capricorns, this conjunction here can mark a time of financial restructuring, material empowerment, and deeper self respect. A lot of you will emerge with a stronger sense of what you're worth, both financially and personally, and with the tools to build a more stable and meaningful future. This is what I have for you, my dear Capricorns, for this conjunction. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Aquarius suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a memorable month because we're going to have some important alignments in the sky, and one of them is going to be a conjunction and stellium of 5 different planets in your sign. Of course, you are the most affected sign out of the 12 zodiac signs, and where you're going to have Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all together in your first house, marking the most personally transformative period you can ever experience. The first house governs your identity, your physical presence, your personality, your approach to life, and the way others perceive you. When these many planets gather here, especially with Pluto now involved, you move through a deep rebirth of who you are as a person and how you show up in the world. This conjunction is the tightest between January 23 and 25. However, the intensity can be felt a week before and also a week after. There can be a significant event that happens that is going to shift your entire life direction, and you're probably going to feel the results of it for a very, very long time. For you Aquarians, this transit can start with an internal awakening. You may feel a surge of self-awareness, as if you're seeing yourself more clearly than you have in the past years. Patterns you've outgrown become impossible to ignore, and you feel compelled to shed old versions of yourself. Pluto pushes you to let go of identities that no longer reflect your truth, and the process can feel intense at times. You may experience moments where you question who you truly are and what you want and where you're heading, but this questioning leads you toward authenticity and empowerment as well. Your personality may take on a stronger, more magnetic edge during this time. People may notice you differently, and it becomes clear that you're stepping into some new power. The sun amplifies your presence, and it can give you a sense of confidence and visibility as well. Others may perceive you as more assertive, more bold, and more authentic, even if you don't feel that way internally first. Because of this conjunction and because Venus is involved here, it can soften your energy and make your aura more appealing. So you may have people draw into you. They may find you very magnetic, very attractive as well. Venus here can bring greater harmony also in your relationships and your new connections that support your growth, because this conjunction is in an opposition of to your seventh house. You might feel more social in general and more comfortable expressing affection and vulnerability. Mars here infuses you with initiative and drive, and it might be pushing you to take action on things you're hesitated about. Some of you Aquarians may become more assertive with this conjunction, more physically energized, or more willing to take risks. This is a period or a turning point where your desire to act, to change, or reinvent yourself can become hard to ignore. Mercury here in the sign of Aquarius is very powerful. It could sharpen your mind and influence the way that you communicate your identity. So, a lot of you may feel like you want to express yourselves more directly, speak with greater clarity, or articulate parts of yourself that you once kept hidden. Some of you might change your style of communication, your appearance, or even your social media image to better reflect who you're becoming as a person. This can be a time when new ideas and personal insights can rush in rapidly. Because the first house also relates to the physical body, this stellium may inspire changes in your appearance, in your style, your health habits, or the way you physically move through the world. Some of you Aquarians are going to feel the need to adopt a new look, to take better care of yourselves, or break old habits that can weigh you down. Others of you may experience intense physical or emotional detoxing, and Pluto can bring here purging before renewal. So there definitely might be some shifts when it comes to relationships, because when you change, the dynamic around you changes. Some people may fall away after this conjunction because they are aligned with an older version of you, while new people may enter your life because they recognize and resonate with who you are becoming as a person. And Venus really helps ease this transition. But Pluto will ensure that the only authentic and meaningful connections are going to remain in your life. And this is applicable not only to your relationships, but also to your family dynamics, because this conjunction is going to be in a square to your fourth house. This can also bring some sort of powerful transformation in the eyes of other people, or even in your career, in the way how others view you, in the space that you take in your job, in the image that you've created for yourself as a person. This period can mark a reinvention of your identity at its core. You might discover new desires, new passions, new goals that can redirect your life path. A lot of you Aquarians are going to become fearless about owning your individuality, and this can lead to some sort of breakthrough in how you express your originality, your independence, and vision as well. So, this stellium and conjunction in your first house is probably going to mark a significant turning point when it comes to your personal rebirth, empowerment, and radical self definition. A lot of you will become unrecognizable after this conjunction. You will shed all layers. You might step into a more authentic version of yourself and redefine the way you engage with life. It can be a painful process. Let's not forget that Mars and Pluto are together here in your first house. But by the end of this transit, you're going to probably emerge stronger, clearer, and more aligned with who you are as a person and the life direction that you want to be taking. Whatever doesn't serve you anymore is going to go in the back seat. Whatever is serving you is coming with you in the future. This is what I have for you, my dear Aquarians, for this conjunction. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Pisces, suns, moons, and risings. January 2026 is going to be a memorable month that is going to mark some profound event that is definitely going to be life-changing. We're going to have an alignment of Venus, Mars, Mercury, the Sun, and Pluto all coming together in a conjunction in the sign of Aquarius in your 12th house. And it can create one of the most deeply introspective, karmic, and spiritually transformative periods of your life. The 12th house governs the unconscious, old emotional patterns, intuition, isolation, healing, past lives, hidden motivations, and the parts of yourself that you don't usually show the world. When this many planets gather here, especially with Pluto, the inner world becomes louder than the outer world, and your soul begins a major clearing process. This conjunction is the tightest from January 23 to 25. However, you can feel the intensity and the buildup of it a week before that, and of course, a week after. There may be some situation or some aha moment that is going to bring results and consequences that are going to be felt for a very long time. And that is because Venus and Mars and Mercury all rule two different houses of your chart. So you're going to have profound transformations that are going to shift your entire life direction. And even though it may not affect you directly, it's going to affect you in your subconscious mind and also spiritually as well. This transit often begins with a subtle sense of change beneath the surface, and a lot of you Pisces might feel more reflective, more sensitive, or more attuned to things that you can't logically explain. This is a time when intuitive messages, dreams, synchronicities, and gut feelings can become extremely strong, and you are a very intuitive sign, so this will make absolute sense for you. A lot of you may feel drawn with this conjunction inward, and you may become more aware of emotional or psychological patterns that have been running quietly in the background of your life. These insights are not random, they are invitations from your subconscious mind to confront and to release what no longer serves you anymore. Pluto here in the 10th house is already acting like a spiritual detox. It can bring buried emotions, fears, and memories to the surface so that they can be processed. And this doesn't mean that there has to be suffering, it means that there's going to be liberation. So some of you under this conjunction may face old traumas, dynamics, or habits that have held you back, but the purpose is to dissolve these things permanently. The 12th house is the house of endings, and Pluto here brings the type of ending that can make room for profound rebirth later, especially when Pluto eventually enters your first house and transforms your entire identity years later when it happens. Mars gives you the courage here to confront these inner experiences instead of trying to avoid them. A lot of you may feel more willing to cut ties with toxic patterns, with unhealthy coping mechanisms, or situations that can drain your energy. At times, Mars in the 12th house can make you feel exhausted or highly sensitive because your energy is being directed inward rather than outward. So it is very important, dear Pisces, to rest more during this time and to kind of honor your body's needs to withdraw and to kind of isolate yourself a little bit. Venus here at the same time is probably going to bring healing through softness, through compassion, and some sort of emotional release. A lot of you may experience spiritual or romantic connections that can feel karmic in nature, fated, or deeply meaningful, but not always fully tangible. So, some people from your past can show up and can reappear to kind of resolve unfinished emotional threads. Venus, though, is definitely going to give you a sense of peace, and it's going to probably make it easier for you to forgive yourself and to forgive other people. Venus is exalted in the 12th house. It's a position that it likes to be in. And so you're going to have this strong compassion towards yourself and to others as well, and to the universe. Like, you're going to make peace with your past. You're going to make peace with whatever has been hurting you before. And you're definitely going to be able to release and excrete things that don't serve you psychologically and emotionally anymore. Mercury here can make your mind more introspective, more imaginative, and you may be more in tune with subtle messages. Some of you Pisces will feel more prone to journal more, to meditate, or to find yourself thinking about past events with new clarity. Some of you will want to go to church, to mosques, to do some sort of prayer, yogas, meditations. This can also be a time when secrets, either yours or other people's, may come to the surface and to light. So you might be able to uncover some hidden motivations, especially of hidden enemies. You might also be able to acknowledge repressed feelings or truths that you weren't able to see before or that were not exposed to you. So we also have the sun here, and the sun is also going to illuminate your inner world. It can bring some sort of awareness to things that you have ignored or downplayed. And again, it can put some spotlight into hidden enemies, hidden things that have been going on behind your back that you were not aware about before. So it can help you understand your life and your surroundings and your blind spots more strongly. You can have this great clarity that you never had before. Some of you may want to stay alone and to spend some time away from the noise, or to just temporarily retreat from the external world so that you can listen to your inner voice with bigger honesty. A lot of you might have the ability to travel internationally, spend time with people from faraway lands, faraway places. Some of you might get into power into these faraway lands and places. Like, for example, I myself am a Pisces sun, and this conjunction can bring some sort of empowerment in my life because I live in faraway lands. I live far away from where I was born. So if you're an immigrant and you live far away, this conjunction can bring some sort of spotlight, some sort of power into your life that is definitely going to be life-changing for you. This stellium here can also heighten your spiritual abilities. Psychic intuition, mediumship, dream messages, and some sort of divine guidance can become stronger, sometimes unmistakable. Okay? So you may experience some sense of spiritual protection or feel drawn to meditation, to astrology, prayer, healing, or anything that can strengthen your connection to the unseen. Like I already mentioned, the 12th house also represents your hidden enemies, internal sabotage, and blind spots. So, this is a time where you become strongly aware of people, situations that can undermine you, or that you have been undermining yourself. So, Pluto is going to help you eliminate these influences permanently. So overall, my dear Pisces, this conjunction here in the 12th house is gonna be a turning point when it comes to your deep internal purification. You're gonna be shedding karmic residue, emotional baggage, outdated psychological patterns. It may feel quiet, it may feel introspective, even heavy at moments, but this proper process is definitely preparing you for a powerful rebirth when all these planets later move into your first house. So you can emerge from this transit with heightened intuition, with more emotional clarity, and a stronger connection to your true self. You might be ready to step into a new chapter of your life with a lot more strength, spiritual strength, and also inner freedom. This is what I have for you, my dear Pisces, for this conjunction. I wish you the best of luck. This can be very profound for you. And I wish you the best of luck again, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.